Alright guys, so after talking about all these online banks almost every day and having so many of them around now, what does this actually mean for other banks, right? The Chase, the Bank of America, and all the other traditional banks. Are these online banks about to take over the banking world? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about in this video, so stay tuned to the very end so you can get all the information. Now, for those of you who are new here or seeing me for the very first time, my name is Ian, and here on this channel, I talk about ways to make money, invest money, and all things personal finance related. So if these are topics that will interest you, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. I'll really appreciate it. And also consider subscribing to this channel so you can get updated when I post new videos here. And I post new videos here every single day on YouTube. So guys, the question here is, are traditional banks dying? I mean, when you think about it, online banks are able to offer you much more value because they have the lowest operating cost. So Chase, for example, has branches almost everywhere, right? That's a cost. They also have more employees because of this. They offer you very little on their savings accounts, and as for their checking accounts, they charge you fees. Now with online banks, or the good ones at least, you don't have these issues. Look at Discover, for instance. No branches, they only have one branch if I remember correctly, and so they don't have all these costs. They can offer you almost 1.1% in interest on your savings, and their checking account comes with absolutely no fees, not even for overdraft. They even give you cash back if you use the debit card. Now, most online banks offer much interest than brick and mortar banks and less or no fees when compared. So in a sense, yes, the online banks are on their way to taking over, and it's happening right now. But that isn't the entire picture, right? Now, traditional banks still have something most online banks don't, and that's the branch. You see, to add funds to any online bank account, it has to come from one of three ways, right? Either from a direct deposit or a check, or from another bank account, because online banks don't have any branches, and so you can't deposit cash. So if you need to deposit cash, you'll still need to use Chase or Bank of America or Fifth Third or some other regular bank, right? So now you really can't rule the traditional banks out of the picture because you still need to use them. Now guys, I've also realized that traditional banks don't really seem to be worried that a lot of people are leaving them and moving on to online banks, and it got me thinking, well, why don't they care? Surely it must be a loss of business. But then I realized that they most likely understand that online banks can't operate by themselves and they still need them, and also most of the people who have online bank accounts still have a regular account at a regular bank somewhere, even if it isn't their primary account that they use every day. Now, in addition to that, most if not all the people who are moving from your traditional bank to an online bank are millennials or Gen Zs, and that's because that's the age we're in, right? Ask someone older if they have an online bank account, and chances are they don't. They would never welcome the idea of having an online bank account where they send their money to, where there's no physical branch and no real person to go and speak to face to face. So that's the thing. Now, for me, this isn't a big deal because the online banks I use, and most if not all of them, are all FDIC insured, and so I know that they're just as good with my money and it's just as safe as any other bank, but you just won't be able to convince some older people that that's the case, right? So that's one thing to consider. Now, another point here is that big banks still have a lot to offer. So for instance, credit cards. Most, if not all, the good ones are from big traditional banks. And when I say the good ones, I mean credit cards that come with little to no fees. And if they do charge fees, the rewards are so good that you can't help but paying the fees. For instance, I have a Discover credit card, right? It's really good. It gives me 2 to 3% cash back, and I love cashback cards. However, Chase, who is the big traditional bank, gives me 5% in cashback. Now, with that 5% comes no annual fees. Now, to make paying my bill easier and also to transfer money or cash to my online bank accounts, a Chase checking account would be best because it's like a one-stop for all my banking needs. Now, Chase, however, and I'm just using Chase as an example here, right? But Chase charges a fee for its checking account. So I want the credit card, which is free and gives me a lot of cash back. And I also want to be able to send money to my online bank account. And instead of using several banks, I can do this at one bank. So to avoid the checking account fees, I have to keep a minimum of $1,500 in the Chase account to do that. So I found a way to make this work, and it's still totally free. So for that reason, I still use Chase, and I won't close my account there and have only an online bank account, because I like what Chase still offers, which is something my online bank accounts can't offer me at this point in time. So again, I think these traditional banks realize this, and so they're unbothered by online banks popping up all over and trying to take clients from them, because just like me, I'm sure there are others who have both accounts because they want the best in terms of high interest savings, no fees, and easy and fast access to deposit and withdraw cash, as well as good credit cards. They won't be giving up their bank accounts altogether. Now guys, we talked about the interest rates on savings accounts offered by online banks when compared to traditional banks, and the main advantage of an online bank is the interest rates, right? You get a much higher interest rate than that of a regular traditional savings account. I mean, most banks will offer you 0.01% in interest for their savings accounts, and then an online bank will offer you 1.2%, so it's a big difference. But this really isn't important to traditional banks, and this is because not a lot of people save money anyways. Now, if you're watching this video, the chances are you're one of the persons that actually saves money, and even if you don't save money right now, you're seriously considering, right? Now, 51% of people don't save money, which is over half the population. They have less than $1,000 in their savings based on a 2018 survey, and so with half the population not saving, then offering a good savings interest rate probably won't be of importance to traditional banks, as they don't see it hurting them. Ask anybody right now. Hit them up and say, hey, does your bank charge you fees or a monthly maintenance fee? Chances are they'll say, and they might even tell you that that's a dumb question to ask because all banks charge fees. Now, the reason for this is they either don't know about an online bank account, or more than likely they may have heard about one, but they aren't familiar with the name or the brand, and so they just keep using the same bank because even though it charges them, it's what they're used to and it still works. Now, I know this because I've mentioned online banks to friends because I know they spend $15 and upwards in account fees every month, but usually they aren't interested because I'm the first person to be telling them about it, and they've never heard about SOFI money before, so they just don't trust it. So instead of saving, right now, most people are interested in credit cards, car loans, and personal loans, all of which you can get at some online banks. But if you really want good loans, then the traditional banks are where you have to go. So the majority of the population is using the services from these traditional banks. And like I said before, not a lot of people save money. And even if they do, it's not consistent to the point where having a high interest rate really matters to them or will benefit them either, right? I mean, let's think about it, right? If you save $100 and you get 2% in interest, then that's what? $2. Not a big deal, right? But if you're saving $1,000 regularly, let's say every single month, then $20 in interest sounds like something. And if you have 10K or 20K, then it's now $200 or $400 in interest. So again, the people who are actually interested in saving, like anyone watching this video, you have to understand that you are in the minority when it comes on to savings, right? The rest of the population just aren't doing it, and they aren't even thinking about it. Now, in addition to this, we have to factor in the cost of convenience. Now, just because something is free doesn't mean it will do better than something that has a cost to it. So Chase, again, for example, has everything you could possibly want that is related to banking. They have savings accounts, checking accounts, investment accounts, and services, right? ATMs all over, branches all over, credit cards, good customer support. You can go in branch and specify what type of bills you want to withdraw and how much. You have access to mortgages, car loans, personal loans, and just about everything that you could ever want under one roof, right? At a small cost, of course. So again, if you can afford it, most likely you would say, hey, instead of investing here and getting a loan here and then going there for a checking account and then to another bank for a credit card and then another bank for a savings account and doing all that, you could just pay the fees and get everything in one place. And that's one thing that traditional banks still have, right? They have the convenience. So guys, for these reasons, I don't think online banks will be taking over the banking industry, at least not anytime soon. Drop me a comment down below and let me know what you think about this though. Do you think that they are and that they will take over soon? Comment your thoughts down below. Now, if you guys have any questions or anything else to add, drop me a comment down below or message me on Instagram, link down below in the description. If you'd like to learn more about online banks or online bank accounts, at least the best ones, their pros and features, as well as the setbacks, you can watch some of my other videos on online banking accounts, and I've reviewed almost all of them here on this channel. And guys, remember, if you've reached this far in the video and you haven't already done so, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. I'll really appreciate it. And also subscribe to the channel, and when you do so, be sure to turn on the notifications so you can get the updates when I post new videos here, which is every single day on YouTube. Now, once again, I hope you guys found this video very helpful, and I've left a couple links below to free stuff and free cashback offers, so be sure to check the links down below in the description for all kinds of free stuff, which includes WEBULL, which is a free and easy to use investment platform where you can invest in anything on the stock market, and after depositing $100, you'll get 2 free stocks that can be valued at over $1,000. Thanks for tuning into the channel once again. All the best, and until tomorrow, adios.